let's look at a setup that will give us 360-degree tracking from my Mevo Start. Today on My Favorite Things. I'm a firm believer that what you have in your tool bag you should be using to the most potential it has. One of the things I have in my bag, in addition to my Mevo setup, is the Pivo pod. We've done a couple of videos that highlight its ability to pan across a sports venue. But today I would like to set it up in one of the use cases that Pivo actually publishes it's good for, and that is live tracking when you have another device mounted on top of the Pivo and its paired device, its paired phone, so to speak. Now, one of the great features of the Mevo 2.0 app is its ability to live follow, to find faces and live follow inside its field of view. It has that great ability to be able to track you in that 84-degree field of view as long as your face is pointed towards the camera. The difficulty with their feature is when you turn away from the camera, all the way away from the camera, sometimes it has a hard time picking your face back up and continuing to follow you, especially if you're moving within the shot. The other downfall is that the Mevo Start's 84-degree field of view limits how far you can travel side to side while you're facing the camera. We're going to set that up, we're going to test that, and look at how that video might turn out. And we're going to find out if it's fast enough tracking for sports events. So first, let's look at the setup. Now, this may be a little bit backlit from where I am. I'll try to scoot over some so that you get a better picture of what this is. You can see that I have the Pivo mounted on top of a generic adjustable microphone stand. It doubles as a monopod. On top of the Pivo, I have mounted my iPhone. Now, the iPhone then in that clip has a 1/4-20 on top of its mount, and it is holding, the Mevo Start is on top of the mount for the iPhone. Now, I'm about 6 feet away. I'm running sound through a Rode Wireless Go lapel mic here on my chest, even though I'm in a hollow room where there's probably a lot of reverb, probably a lot of echo here. Hopefully you'll be able to pick up on the sound well enough. And then I have a second Mevo that I am recording that image with. Maybe you can see it there as I move back and forth. The connections for this all run through the iPhone that you can see here in your picture. That iPhone is connected to the Pivo. The software you can see running there is the Pivo software. It's using live body follow. That box there means that it's tracking my body, so that wherever my body is, however I make my hands, whatever, it's going to track my body. I have the option of changing that over to face follow so it can find my face. It's going to go into auto zoom mode if I'm just using the Pivo. But the feature I'm after here is to allow the Pivo to track me, so I'll keep it on body follow, so that the Mevo that's on top of the iPhone is always pointed at me. And as I walk around this room, you're going to see that it follows me, keeps me fairly centered up in the frame. And so as I move around, whichever direction I choose to be moving, it's going to keep me centered. It's going to keep its eye, so to speak, on its target. The body follow allows it to keep me in the center of the frame. I want to go ahead and see if I can finish this 360-degree pan as it's following me and I'm giving instruction here. You're going to see the same scenery come around here in just a second. You'll be able to see that camera one more time so that you can see that it did, in fact, follow me 360 degrees. And it can do that indefinitely. It's not like it can go 720 and stop. There's no end. There's no stop on the end. So the unlimited 360-degree follow that is available in the Pivo app then can aim our Mevo so that if the person who is speaking at the convention that you're filming, the
dancers on the floor at the wedding that you're filming. No matter where they go, you could even set this up in the middle of the dance floor and have it follow that bride and groom as they do their first dance, and wherever they go, it's going to follow them. It would be a great feature and really a cool thing to be able to offer folks like that. Now, as we connected both devices to this iPhone, one of the things that we have to trust it will do is run the Pivo software on top and allow the Mevo software to run in the background. So in the Mevo 2.0 app, what I did was choose for it to not go auto wide on disconnect, and I chose for it not to power off after 15 minutes if disconnected. So the Mevo can continue to record in whatever field I set it at. If I've zoomed in the Mevo 2.0 software, it will continue to record at that same level of zoom even when that app is not open anymore. And you can see by the red dot on front of the Mevo that in fact it is continuing to record. The Pivo is connected to the device. The Mevo is connected to the device, and both of those pieces of software are running, and the Mevo is the one doing the recording at the time. If you need to use this to stream as well, I don't have enough service in this part of the building, cellular service in this part of the building to test it. I've tried a couple of times in it, but you could set this up, your iPhone handling both devices and also handling the cellular connection to be able to stream. You've got an all-in-one unit that allows 360-degree tracking on top of one mic stand. To me, that's pretty impressive. So you've seen how it tracks. And the question is going to come up, is it fast enough? Does it track fast enough for sports events? Will it take a batter out of the batter's box and follow him to first base, trying to leg out a single on the infield? Now, that's a good question. I had my family volunteer and come set up for me a little kickball game. Now, you need to keep in mind, only one of us is a professional athlete. The rest of us are amateurs. And I'll show you this video, and you can see that if you're having the unit set up so it's running at the camera, then when it runs by the camera, when your subject runs by the camera, it's going to lose them. You see it happen right here. But if you've set up between home and first and you're far enough away, you can set the speed, the tracking speed in the Pivo app to either fast or frenzy. And because you'll be 30 or 40 feet away, you're going to be able to track from the batter's box all the way to first base, and it will track it, at least with the iPod Silver. That's the one that I have that I'm testing. I don't have the iPod Red. I have the Silver, and it's a little faster than the original one was. So your mileage may vary, but it looks to me like if you're set far enough away that you have a wide enough field of view, that you're not using the auto zoom feature built into the Pivo app. So it's not trying to zoom in and at the same time zoom out and change its direction, that you may have good luck in having this track in youth sports events. Will it do a basketball game? I don't know. There's a lot of bodies moving in a basketball game, and I don't know how it would be able to hang on to just the one that you have tracking if you have them crossing in front of one another. But it's worth a shot. If you already have the Pivo and it's in your Mevo setup, in your live streaming setup, it would definitely be worth trying this in a live sporting events kind of arena. It definitely works for someone who is speaking but has the habit of moving a lot as they speak. And it'll catch a whole lot more than that 84-degree field of view that the Mevo Start comes with, or even the much wider field of view that the Mevo Plus comes with. This will catch that 360-degree field of view. And there's got to be some great uses for such a setup. If you have a chance to use the Mevo Pivo combination in a baseball, softball game, or in a basketball or volleyball game, I would love to see some of your video, I would love to see a comment in the comment section here of what you think it would do and what your experience with it is.